15 countries were a part of the Soviet Union, but now, as it is broken in 1991, he is trying to make Russia as much powerful as the Soviet Union that used to be, right? Hello friends, my name is Pradeep. I'm a serial entrepreneur, business consultant and a coach. And in this video, I'll be talking about the 5 reasons why Putin decided to, in fact, took over Ukraine. Why he invaded Ukraine, all right? Normally, you see, I am not a very big fan of war because I don't like bloodshed, killings and people losing their lives and people displaced, having all these crises and all across. But you see, business war is very similar to the normal war. The only difference is that in business war, people don't lose their lives. Unlike in normal war where a lot of displacement happens and a lot of inconvenience, not only inconvenience, losing lives, which is actually part of the war. But business wars is very similar to normal war. The ideologies, the thinking, the concepts, the preparation, all these things are very similar, right? So in this video, I will be talking about the 5 reasons why it became very important for Putin to take over Ukraine, all right? And keep watching till the end so that you get a fair idea of all these reasons. All right, the first reason why Putin took over Ukraine is, number 1, destroy the enemy when it is small. Second reason is ideologies are paramount. Third is land is everything. Fourth point is communism and compassion do not go hand in hand. A communist is not concerned about compassion. Fifth point is Putin's legacy, superpower image. Maintain that. Sixth is China protects the economic interests of Russia. All right. So I'm going to discuss all these points one by one. So keep watching this video so that you get to know all these points in details. Okay. Destroy the enemy when it is small. To justify what I'm saying, let's give you the example of the animal kingdom, cats and dogs, right? I'm a dog fan, so I love dogs. I have no grudge with the cats or the people who love cats. But just to give you an example, if you have observed cats, the wild cats, they usually go out hunting and they even kill the kittens who are newly born so that the male kittens can keep their dominance over a long period of time, right? So wherever the male ones observe that there are some kittens born somewhere, so they will just go and kill the male kittens so that they do not grow up and become their competitor. So why did I give you this example? Because it's similar to what Putin is doing. Putin is playing the long game, right? He's observing that in the next 10 years, Ukraine, as being the largest country apart from Russia, which got separated from the 15 countries of the Soviet Union, is actually the largest, right? And over a period of time, since it is more inclined towards the European Union, and even if it gets the membership of NATO, then it will become really strong in the coming years. And then Russia will have existential crisis. So this is the reason, this is the number 1 reason, kill your enemy when it is small. And you observe the timings. They attacked it when the NATO was going to help them, right? So they observed that the help is going to come from outside, and that will help Ukraine grow really big, right? Just to stop Ukraine from growing really big so that it could become a competitor of Russia, it attacked now so that they could save the expenses and the pain that they will do fighting in the future, right? So kill the enemy when it is small. Well, the second point is ideology. If you see the ideology of communism, they are totally different from democracy. Ideology of democracy is like give freedom to everyone, all the rights to everyone, whoever wants to follow their own rules, their own traditions, and they coexist. Does not happen in communism. Communism is like either I survive or you survive, and it's my rules against your rules. A kind of democracy, a kind of dictatorship, right? So this is exactly what the problem is, because if you see Russia, it is more inclined towards communism, being strong to ourselves, working all together, but Ukraine is pro-democracy, right? It's a little liberal. So if you see, a lot of people in Ukraine speaks English. They are very good in communicating with people from outside. English is actually usually spoken in their places in Ukraine, but does not happen in Russia. A lot of Russian do not like speaking in English because they feel that being Russian language is more important than any other language, right? I'm not saying that they are very nationalistic. That's nothing wrong in that, but they are not very comfortable speaking any other language other than Russia, right? So this is about the ideology. Russia, that is why it wants to become strong and take over Ukraine so that there will not be any ideological differences later on. The third point is land is everything. Now, if you talk about Ukraine as a country, it has vast amount of natural resources like iron, coal, a lot of other things, gold even, right, and even oil, right? So it became very important for Russia to take over the land so that they can use the natural resources and do some business. Though there are business sanctions now implemented by NATO and US, of course, but then again they have this control, right? If they take over Ukraine, they will have control over the place, right? Also, it's very fertile because if you see, Ukraine grows a lot of wheat, rice, and all the other food items all throughout its land, right? So this is also one of the reasons why Putin thought about taking Ukraine. In fact, took over Ukraine, as I'm talking now. The fourth point is communism and compassion does not go hand in hand. What happens in communism is there is existence of just one person's ideology, right? They don't believe in coexisting. They believed in domination, right? So it's very natural for Putin to take over Ukraine so that it can have control over the place, right? And there will be no external interference. Okay, so communism also believes in, crushing all the voice by brutal force. It does not happen in democracy. Democracy is all about, raising your voice, criticizing your government, speaking against the leaders. All these things happen in a democracy, but not in communism, right? So the reason Putin took over Ukraine so that it could stop Ukraine from becoming a voice of the people, right? Yeah, of course, crushing the voice is a very important task of a communist country, right? Let's not talk about China. China does that all the time, and even the people are accustomed to that. Russia is doing the same. It's trying to crush all the voices, and of course, this is the primary reason, and they are not compassionate. They believe in brutal power, and they will kill any voice which goes against them. Putin is a very strong leader, and he will do that, and he is doing that, right? Taking over the entire Ukraine, as I'm talking now. The fifth point is Putin's legacy. Putin wants to leave his legacy before he retires. Though he's growing in age, every human does. He wants to leave a legacy before he retires, right? He wants to make Russia as a superpower, right? He wants to maintain that image in front of the world that Russia is a superpower. And for that, annexing Ukraine is very important. You see, over these years, Putin, from 2014, he annexed Crimea, right? And a lot of other small nations. Even he formed an alliance with the Belarus. Okay, Belarus is now actually very much inclined towards Russia. So he's doing that, and over the years, he is actually planning to take over a lot of countries. 15 countries were a part of the Soviet Union, but now, as it is broken in 1991, he is trying to make Russia as much powerful as the Soviet Union that used to be, right? So that is actually one of the reasons why Putin wanted to take over Ukraine. And the bonus point is the sixth point, which is China protects economic interests of Russia. Before Russia thought about taking over Ukraine, it already knew that there will be economic sanctions by the US, the Western countries, but it knew that it had China on its sides, right? China is a very big economy, right? It's a very powerful economy. So Russia can depend on it, right? And China also gave the assurance that in case of war or in case of any destability of the economy of Russia, it will be backed by China, right? China has its own interests. we'll talk. That is a topic for another video. We'll talk about sometime later, right? So, taking the assurance from China, Russia invaded Ukraine, and as I'm talking now, it's already inside the capital. Kyiv is the capital. So the Russian soldiers are already inside Kyiv, I think, right? So thank you for watching. I hope this video gave you a clear insight of the reasons why Putin took over Ukraine. Do mention in the comments what is your opinion about all these points, and of course do subscribe to the channel if you are watching on YouTube, so that you get to know whenever there's a new video coming out from the channel. Alright, and hit the like button if you really like this video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead. This is Pradeep signing off. See you next in the coming video.